We have a quorum?
Yes, you do.
Okay. So at the present time, there is no discussion items and there's no actual presentation. So we're gonna move right into Kathy Jones and the monthly report from purchasing.
Okay, here are the bid summaries. Annie, yours.
Thank you, Kathy.
Okay, the first bid we did was for pagers. This was for the emergency management. This was under Homeland Security. It was a grant. It was for DPW and any emergency response personnel. And there were, you can see the summary. It went to the low bidder. And the last bid that we did for the month was steel and aluminum. The summary's attached, that's awarded per group, and it's based on estimated quantities, so it's whatever we use, the prices and the totals, doesn't mean that we're gonna spend that, it's just if we need these items.
And I just want to mention the first one has to deal, even though it's talking about emergency, it's not referring
Oh,
to
it's not part
anything
of
with the radio
the
towers
radio
or any of that
upgrade project.
expense.
No.
And when it comes to the second one with the steel and aluminum, all those pieces and parts, we're not necessarily,
The whole
Getting it
entire
all.
plan. No,
we
Only
might
if
get
you
none of
need it.
them, we might get 10 items.
right. And it's bid, often because the price of steel fluctuates so much, so you'll see that over and over every few months. We
Can I-
process, yeah.
Sorry, I know you've been putting so many hours in, I just really appreciate all the time that you're putting in. I just want, I know this is gonna sound horrible, but we are having a recess public safety meeting at 8 a.m. next Thursday before executive. And that's only on the RFPs for the radio project, so
Right.
I don't know if that's
Can you come in at
asking too
8 and leave at
much.
4?
No, I can come in at 8 and leave at 5. but-
Okay, thank you.
It's just that because there's so many complicated
Yes.
gears shifting through
Yeah,
that.
that's fine.
Okay, thanks a lot.
I think we'll have
appreciate
6 or
it.
7, right, Joe?
Yeah, it depends
There's
on-
quite a few, but yes, that'll be fine.
Okay, thanks.
I'll just finish my report. We did 254 purchase orders for the month, and we do have the recyclables report if anybody wants it.
Thank you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
Board of Elections? Hi.
How's
And
it
there
going
was that
down there?
primary yesterday, how did it go?
Yeah,
Was it a
but
big turnout?
Actually, we had mixed results. Tuesday was primary day, and the month leading up to primary day is spent, answering inquiries, getting the bags packed for the various poll sites, working with the town clerks and issuing absentee ballots. We had 8 towns out of the 15 in our county involved in primaries. The larger towns like Tustin and Bethel, Mamakating had very good voter participation. Thompson, surprisingly low. And we invariably had some smaller races for justices and such, in which we had poll districts that didn't see one voter come in between 12 noon and 9 a.m. for this. And again, this is the frustration that Rodney and I deal with. Being the most conservative, we still had to order over 11,000 ballots for this election, of which about 2,500 were used. We also had to order 1,750 ballots to meet our Spanish requirements, of which 1 was used.
And what's the cost per ballot?
The cost is almost 50 cents a ballot, so we have approximately 8,500 unused ballots, representing over $4,000 that has to sit now in storage for 2 years.
Can you put that together in a format for a letter to the higher-ups in the state, please? Because
I don't think it's anything they haven't heard before. Every small
But
county
every
like
time that
ours.
we do it,
and-
and we show this as an
Yeah.
example, because I think New York City did a major thing about their primaries, and I'm not negating their primaries, I'm saying it shouldn't be as costly to us as it presently is. So if you put something together, I'll make sure it gets up to the state.
Okay, surely.
Thank you. I love a
More
paper trail.
or another piece of paper.
Paper trail.
I don't mean to prolong this conversation, because we will put that together for you, but need to be reminded that there are, 44,000 plus voters, registered voters. The state Board of Elections recommended that every election, every Board of Elections order 110% of the total number of voters, so you had a ballot for each voter, 10% over in case there were any spoiled ballots, just in case one election cycle, all 44,000 showed up to vote, which has never even come close.
We should
So
send them
the
the
answer
bill.
you're gonna get is, we don't order 110%. We stay down around 60% to cover ourselves, because believe me when I tell you, the two on the line, if we run out of ballots, are gonna be Ann and I, and you don't know what to do. When you have a presidential election, for example, in the presidential election, you get 65% of the voter turnout, without any question. But in the damn primary, you get 6 or 7%. So how do you justify that? And that's probably gonna be the answer you'll get.
The state-
We'll try.
I mean, we've brought issues of expense to the state board's attention on more than one occasion, and their answer is, we're not interested in your expenses, you have an election to run. So, and next Tuesday we'll be opening absentee ballots, and we do have a number of interesting races that are razor thin, that involve justices and council people. And just as a precaution, Rodney was on the phone this morning with the state board to find out what happens in the not unlikely eventuality that we have tied races. So we're prepared for that as well. And we do have one deceased candidate who was a winner in Fremont. So it's always interesting.
Yeah, the recommendation that Ann and I made to the state board was for conservative and independents primary in one of the towns, which you were talking, total voters, registered voters was, I don't know, maybe 25 or 30. And could we, instead of going through this process and setting up the machines and doing all this, could we just simply mail each registered voter an absentee ballot and let them have the option to vote? It would save us tremendous amount of money. It's just in one small town. The answer we got back was, election law does not allow it, and saving money is not part of what we deal with. So
That's an official response.
Just out of curiosity, what are you doing with the deceased winner? As far as putting them on the ballot?
The
Yeah, but I
person
mean,
is,
federal November's
it
ballot.
goes back to the
Town.
party that the person is registered in, for them to come up with a substitute candidate to be on the ballot in November.
Okay, thanks for the clarification.
In the case of a tie, like Ann just said, that, according to the state, also creates a vacancy. They refer to that as a vacancy because there is no winner, and that's handled the exact same way,
Thank
just
you.
for your knowledge.
Thank you.
I know what I'm doing after a legislator. Go to ballot business and credit.
Before these
Can we go?
machines, you didn't have this issue.
Yes, thank you.
In 3 days.
Result of the-
Greg?
Vaya
you're
con
up.
Dios.
Cooperative extension, everybody.
All right.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Just pass these around.
Greg, join us at the table.
Oh, sure.
It's almost like being knighted,
Right.
except it's not round.
Seat at the table. First of all, I think everybody heard Jerry Skoda's barn burned down last night, so we've been trying to help out a little bit there. Everything's okay as far as he had no animals and nobody got hurt.
And he saved 2 tractors.
And he saved a couple tractors, I heard, so.
That's the truth.
Yeah. So anyways, we're gonna be taking up a little collection at Extension and going up with some food and stuff, so. But I just want everybody to know about it.
Thank
You
you.
gave me food yesterday, should I give it back?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
On his property? That was-
It was a barn across the street from his home, so nothing happened to his home. And, you know, you didn't hear a lot of rumors, so I don't wanna say much, but there was a lot of lightning going on, so we heard it could have been caused by lightning, but,
That was the official answer from the Woodburn Fire Company.
okay. So Gene, maybe you have anything else to add on it? I mean, I didn't go up
No.
there, but, I know Jerry was up all night and I talked to him this morning,
That's my fire company.
so there you go. As far as the report, I passed out just a simple report here. Obviously, we had the United States Senator Gillibrand stop by, which was great for us. We got a lot of good publicity, and real happy to have her and her commitment to New York State agriculture. And along with Congressman Gibson And then there's a photo here of Lee Talega, who actually has been a real important person. He's a statewide director for rural development for USDA, and he's been very instrumental in helping to get money for Sullivan County. So, and he actually was with Extension for about 25 years, so we have a good relationship with him, and he's a great guy. So, any questions on that? I know Josh came by and others did, so thanks for your support.
It was a good event.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The shared position, I'm working with Jill on this.
Wait,
We-
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
That particular farm bill that she was talking about?
Yeah.
I know it got modified several
Yeah.
times, there were all these add-ons and takeaways and so on. Is there anything that we can take advantage of specifically for Sullivan
Well, it's still
County?
in the works right now,
So
it's
we
not.
don't have any definitive answer?
No,
Okay.
but I'm happy to, if you have input or you want us to, you know, we're in touch with them as much as we can, but it's a bigger, obviously it's a bigger national issue right now.
Yeah.
But we're looking, once it's all passed, there is specific, you know, items that relate to Sullivan County.
Okay, good.
The shared position is finally all approved from the Cornell side, and obviously we appreciate your support here. So we're hoping to post it live on the web tomorrow. And then we'll be able to take in applicants, and Jill and I will be working together on that.
And where is it going to be posted?
Well, the main link is, ultimately it all goes through the Cornell University webpage, but then we can do any local advertising to lead everybody to that link.
So some of the professional journals, I'm hoping
Yeah,
that it's going.
and Cornell also has a wide web that they send it out to throughout the state. And anything that, you know, Jill has or others want to add to it, we can do that.
We're also, you're gonna give the resumes that we got in for the original position here over if they qualify for
Right,
the contract.
we're gonna email that we've talked about, looking at the 15 that we got and, you know, targeting them, whether we let all of them know, but let them know they have to apply through this link directly. Because we're also hoping that some of those people might be interested in just the general planner position as well. So hopefully we can bounce them back and forth and pick the appropriate person for each title. We got some good people.
Good, thank you.
Okay.
Cooperation.
We had the fair in Grahamsville, and it was a big success from the 4-H side, and obviously from the entire Never Sink Ag Society. I think it was a great turnout. I was there for 3 or 4 of the days, and it went pretty well. So thanks for your support on that. We received $7,000 from the. We won second place for the back of the building for a garden that we did that connects to the kitchen. So we're pretty excited about that.
That's a beautiful.
Yeah, it turned out great. If you haven't been
Yes.
by, take a peek at it.
Yes, it is.
And it was a big, you know, we worked pretty hard on it, so it was a big honor. And it helps a lot with the kitchen, but we can jump in on some of the, you know, we have the $33,000 from USDA, and we have other matching funds. We have another $5,000 grant, but the $7,000 will go right towards the kitchen, so in the early stages, it helps out quite a bit if you launch the
Have you
kitchen.
had people signing up, planning on utilizing?
We had a master food preserver class, it was 3 days. We had like 30 people show up. So there's been a lot of interest in, you know, just the idea of, you know, preserving, adding value, learning how to possibly, you know, take a product to market and things like that. So we're gonna actually have a workshop in October with the Cornell Food Venture Center in Geneva, up near Ithaca, where they've got a whole program to help, you know, entrepreneurs launch their small business ideas. So
Nice.
we'll have a workshop here at Cornell on that, which I'm really excited about.
Yes.
Let's see, what else? I'm continuing to work on the planning committee with the ag subcommittee and other work on the economic development plan and the Red Mead facility with IDA. And the building, it's a big thing. We're really kind of coming to a head with our building because of the HVAC still being down in the summer months ending now. So we're trying to really put that on the forefront and try to get some answers as far as what we're gonna do for heat and also just the roof, the parking lot, and other issues with the extension building. So I'm sure you'll be hearing more about that, but it's pretty high on my priority list right now. And I thank everybody for helping out on that. And then the last thing is I put a flyer in here on the back. We have our barn dance coming up, and it's at the Bridal Hill Farm in Jeffersonville. And
Tickets in advance.
Kitty, I just want to say thanks to Kitty. She's been on the committee helping out quite a bit. She already bought a bunch of tickets, and we're excited about it. Old-fashioned kind of the Cornell chicken recipe, and we're planning for 300-400 people. So we're getting a lot of interest and excitement about it. So, any questions? I think that's enough for today.
Good.
Yeah, a lot happening.
You
Thank
really
you.
hit the ground running. How long have you been in there?
About 7 months. So, and the grants helped a lot just to get some excitement and momentum, and we got some other plans. So, looking forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're up to the county clerk. Not here, I didn't see Dan. Okay, and Sullivan County Community College.
Hi, I'm here on behalf of Dr. Hilgerson. She couldn't make it today. Just a few items. We had a number of improvements completed just before the start of the semester. We're underway now.
I'm sorry, your name?
Cindy Cashin.
Okay, thank you, Cindy.
Our dining hall was renovated, and that was finished probably just about a day before the students arrived on campus.
Looks great.
It's absolutely beautiful, and the students are loving it. It's really a modern dining facility now. In addition to that, we also renovated our student union in complementary colors. New flooring was put in, it was painted. We also had a donation of a pool table that now allows the students to play pool for free rather than before we had 2 tables that they had to pay about $1.25 a game for. So they're really appreciating that. And we just had a donation of an 80-inch TV to go in the union so that they can have football parties and things like that. So it's really getting a good response, and we're hoping that it will certainly help with the retention of our students. So we're hoping that this is going to be a great semester for us.
And you started a new wrestling?
Right, we started 2 new sports this year, men's wrestling and women's volleyball. So we have teams for that. We also held a convocation the other day. You may have seen the photograph in the Times Herald Record of Dr. Hilgerson. In the middle of the event, a flash mob broke out, and she was a part of it. So we were all dressed in academic regalia, and then in the middle of it, everyone took off their robes and started a dance, and it was in the field house, and the students loved it. So it's all part of a plan to really get the students more involved in what's going on. And we've started community learning events on campus this fall to have students interact with community members and faculty and staff. So we started Zumba on Monday nights. There were about 30 people involved in that, and that'll be twice a week. And then we're looking at dance, yoga, maybe some art classes, things like that. So to bring everybody together and really create more of a sense of community on the campus.
That's
So we'll
great,
keep you posted on that.
that's great.
How are you
Thank
doing with admissions?
The enrollment, well, our goal for the fall was 1,169 FTEs. As of yesterday, we were at 1,196. And we're still working on the final report where what we call no-shows, those students who had registered but never showed up, are being taken out. So we're hoping, I left them working on it when I came over here, that we will still maintain the goal of 1,169.
That's great.
So,
Yeah, that's
so the next
fantastic.
month, Dr. Hilderson will come with an official report on that.
And hopefully by the December, maybe we'll be able to have an internship kind of program moving ahead.
Absolutely. And I know there are some meetings scheduled on that, and we have our Assistant Vice President for Academic and Student Affairs is really taking a proactive approach to that, to developing more internships with businesses, and we're looking at bringing back someone to work as a career placement coordinator, to reach out to businesses both in Sullivan County, the Mid-Hudson region, and the New York City area to try to help our graduates get placed in jobs upon graduation, which is really important, and it's what they ask for, you know, when they're interviewing to come to the college. So that will, again, help in the retention of the students.
That's great, thank you.
Sure.
Okay, I believe it's time for resolutions. So the first resolution is to authorize and award the execution of a contract with Environmental Planning and Design for the LLC for assistance on site designs for the 6 river accesses. I want to bring your attention to this little map, and Jill will explain more about this.
Thank you. Second? Or,
This is a part of our LWRP2 grant. It's a local waterfront revitalization program through Department of State. It's an outcry, not an outcry. It's a follow-up to the LWRP plan that was developed and got a grant for. So this is $100,000, which is part of the $125,000 award, and it'll go to conceptual advanced schematic designs for 6 river access points along the Delaware River, 1 in each town. So the map shows you where there are selected already, and then there are 4 that are still under consideration. That Heather is our project manager from planning, who is working with all of the towns to make sure that they have buy-in and are part of the process, so that it is a collaboration between the county and the town. So, again, it is fully grant funded, and we have some county in-kind and some other matches that will go towards it. But
Sorry, Jill, I'm not clear.
Hey, I
Is
raised
this-
my hand.
Oh,
Kidding you, though.
Girls, please.
Gender-based comment.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't see your hand.
I get a pass.
So I'd like to recognize, I apologize, I was looking down and Cora was,
I'm
so.
sorry. Go ahead, girl.
she raised her hand.
That Cora?
I defer to my colleague
It's getting late.
who had her hand raised.
Somebody say something.
She's.
I defer to my colleague
deferring
who
to
had
you.
her hand raised.
No, I was looking at
She
Jill.
couldn't have talked anyhow. She had-
So the sites that are blue are under consideration, and these are gonna be, currently they don't have an access site?
um,
None of these are access sites.
some of them are underdeveloped access sites.
But
like,
I've gone out of Skinner's.
So like the Long Eddy DEC one, it's really just a road that goes right to the river. And so it's kind of, we're gonna kind of develop it to allow parking, allow more access, potentially bathrooms. It's really up to what the town wants to do and make sure that they, you know, agree
And
to put as
improvements
much
were
in here.
just done on the Long Eddie site, right?
I think all they've done there is possibly repave it. There's nothing, you know,
Okay.
this would talk about putting some more parking in there, maybe boat parking. It's really just a long strip of land, so it's gonna be kind of, up to the committee to kind of see how they can, design it a little bit better.
So this, resolution
You don't
doesn't
want one of these?
include the actual construction?
It does not. This is just for the design. So it would be the 6 different accesses, for a total of $100,000,
And
for the.
who would be expected to actually
Construct.
implement the design?
It's the hope, that, you know, by working with the towns, that, it can be kind of a partnered effort. So we're hoping that the towns will embrace the projects and kind of take on and, you know, in their towns, bring something to the table to help implement it. I know for the Pond Eddy site, that is a site that the county actually owns, that there is a potential for the National Park Service to come on and jointly manage that and maintain it. So, those
So in other words,
are
you
all
would need-
things that would be
You would need
part of the
buy-in
discussion.
from those towns to complete it?
Yeah, Heather has been going to the town meetings and meeting with the town boards and town supervisors to kind of go over the project and get their buy-in and get them involved, because we don't wanna plan and access where a town doesn't want it.
Because
and-
this, resolution is fully state funded. Is there more grant funding coming down to assist
It's
the towns?
125, for this round, no, we'd have to apply then, if we wanted additional grant funds to actually implement it, we would have to, then apply for the next round of LWRP for, further
So if
implementation.
the towns buy in, then you'll take the next step and apply for further grant funding?
Yeah, we could look for other grant funding for them or help them.
So I need to be clear on the deliverable for this grant is a drawing.
6 designs.
6 designs, advanced schematics, so it's more than just, you know, a sketch. It's supposed to, it's not, construction documents, because they're not licensed engineers, but they are advanced schematics. So
And when do
they'll
they
be-
do? When is the grant?
The
deadline?
grant deadline is April 2015.
So basically, this is a design, this is not the implementation of access points. And involved in this would be the towns to decide whether or not they want to have an access point.
Correct, and what they want at the,
At
is
the
it just is it
A
just a
ramp.
boat ramp, is it a picnic stop, is it a bathroom, is it a river stop? Like, would a boat just launch there and use the park? How how they wanna determine what a river access is will be up to each of the individual towns and to the committee.
I could provide you with the RFP, which was explicit in certain areas and what you wanted to do, if you wanted to
Does
see
any
it.
of that 100,000 include the planning time or Kathy's time, or is it?
It's a 50-50 match, so, it's a $125,000 grant, so it will be made up with in-kind services, planning staff. There's also, other organizations are contributing their staff time to it, so that would go towards it. There is another, the Pond Eddy site, because it's county-owned, an appraisal was done on that, and it's appraised at $25,000, which would go as the county match, for that parcel.
Ira?
Are they gonna, besides working with the town boards, are they gonna actually go to the point of going to each planning board and going through approval process, or not?
We could recommend that, if that is something, I mean, because they would be town-owned or state-owned, technically, I don't think they have to go to the planning boards, but we could encourage that. I know they have people sitting on Heather's committee who some are planning board members, some are town board members, so they're kind of involved in the process, but to formally go to them, we could, ensure that happens.
So what I'd like to see is a cost sharing grid. And on this, I want each site, and I want the county share what we're committing to, whether it's time or DPW or whatever. Next column is the state, what their 50% match, and what the community is putting in.
Okay.
But that would
But
come
has the-
later, because today we're just, voting on the state grant.
Right.
for a hun-
Right.
It's about 16,000
Hiring
each,
the
right?
firm. Hiring the
They're hiring
firm.
the
work. We already
Right.
approved it.
So it's about, I think it works out to about $16,000 per
16,000 per
site,
site.
but it all depends on, one site might just be a boat launch and might not need as much design as another town that might want,
I think it's good, because the
bathroom,
towns will
boat
determine
launch,
whether,
all that
because it's gonna
stuff,
increase
so.
tourism if you're doing fishing or a boat launch or whatever, right?
Right,
A lot
so,
of places
so it
they
will
just
be a
can't
little
get to the
hard, I
river.
mean, can
Yeah.
I average for the 6 sites? Because we won't know till the designs are done, how much staff time, we could
If it
probably put
changes
in
over
more
time,
time.
but what I don't want to happen is a visitor center scenario. If you want me to elaborate on that, I will. What I want to know is who's putting in what at each stage of the process.
Anybody
Yeah,
else
plenty of
have
time.
any questions or comments for Jill? All in favor?
Where's that?
Thank you. Okay, so it's time to move on to the next resolution, which is to authorize, award, and execution of a contract with Community Planning and Environmental Association for consulting services for the Farmland Protection Plan.
Jonathan? Ira?
And a discussion on that, I had asked Jill regarding who's involved in this farmland protection, and if you could elaborate more on that.
Sure, so this is a grant from New York State Ag and Market to do a farmland protection plan update, which ours was done in 1999. So in 2009, we became eligible for grant funding. We applied for the funding in 2010, and then we finally were awarded in September 2012, and we executed the contract in April 2013. So the project must be done by August 2014. But this is a $100,000 project. $50,000 is coming from New York State Ag and Markets to update the plan. It is a group effort of the planning department. Grants administration has a small chunk in it. The Agriculture and Farmland Protection Board, Cornell Cooperative Extension, Delaware Highlands Conservancy, and Catskill Mountain Keeper. We also had Open Space Institute and Watershed Agriculture Council as a potential partner, but they've had some staff turnover, so we can't commit to theirs. So we have an unconfirmed match there, so it would probably just be picked up by the county there, which was minimal. Again, it's a $50,000 grant. There is a $10,000 cash match that the county committed to as per resolution 275 of 2010. which would go towards part of the contractual services, and then just basic, other than personnel expenses from the county, travel, printing, that sort of thing. And then we have the in-kind match of $20,000 from the county, $7,500 from Cornell, $5,000 from Delaware Highlands, $3,000 from Open Space, $2,500 from Kestrel Mountain Keeper, and $1,500 from Watershed Ag Council. So the Farmland Protection Plan met. We got 4 responses to the RFP. The Farmland Protection Board decided to interview 3 of them, and they selected Nan Stolzenberg's firm, who also did the 4 town farmland protection plans for Delaware and Calhoun and Bethel and Liberty a couple years ago. So the committee thought that she had the best knowledge and brought the best presentation to the board. So that is who we're hoping to contract with and move forward with the project.
Now, this is not limited to one side of the county or the other.
Nope, this is an entire county-wide effort. Based on the RFP, we've asked them to, be cognizant of our old plan, the 4 plans that the towns did, as well as 2020, our county open space plan, and of course the economic development plan, which will be completed shortly. So it is a county-wide effort.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions, comments? Well, then I guess it's time to call the question. All in favor?
4-0.
Any opposed? Okay. So, we're moving along. To authorize an award and execution of a contract with Dennis J. Morgan for social work services for the Department of Community Services.
Jonathan. Ira.
Thank you. And in the discussion of this, I'd like to ask Kathy if she would explain why we're looking for another social worker.
We currently, a few months ago, I brought to you RFP awards, and we currently have 3 social workers for community services. This one, Joe had told me, this one specializes in domestic violence. And that's what his specialty is, and that's why he's needed for the caseload for those issues.
He's filling a vacancy, is that what you said?
I don't know if it's a vacancy.
Oh.
This is a contract, so it's not,
Come up with contractual one.
this is a, contract, not an
No
employee.
county share.
And county share in this is?
All Medicaid.
It's reasonable.
Okay.
It's on this, yeah.
So is there any other questions? So it's time to call the question once again. All in favor?
4-0.
Thank you. Moving right along. We're modifying the agreement with H2M Labs. Now this resolution has to deal with the testing of the waters out.
In the landfill and all the buildings and parks. When
Moved by
Wait,
Jonathan, seconded by Ira.
All in favor?
You have to have a motion before you
Moving
get
along.
started.
Thank you.
When I brought this,
Thank you.
when I brought this to you, I think last month or the month before, we realized afterwards that it was a 2-year contract. It said not to exceed $120,000, but it should have said annually. It's $120 each year, not for 2.
The other explanation that I want to add in here is I was concerned about the lab ability and where was the hospital in this, and it's my understanding it's because it has to be done in the field, the testing, that certain labs do not even apply for this because it's done in the field.
Well, they don't apply for it because they're not licensed to do that by the state.
Right. Combination of things. So, Cindy, you had a question?
No, I was just wondering if, you said it was for the 2 years, but this is annual. Is that what you said?
Contracts for
Total.
2 years.
The contracts are 2 years. The original resolution said not to exceed $120,000 for 2 years. I needed to be amended to say $120,000
Per year.
each
Per
year.
year,
And
So this is a modification in what was passed.
Right.
And that it'll end up a budget modification because we're.
No, I make a motion to amend the resolution that it says annual in there, 120.
Second.
All in favor?
It's already in the.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
He made a motion.
Hang on.
For what?
It's
You
already
need
in
To
it.
amend it.
It's in it.
This was,
To amend.
this resolution modifies something.
Right, so they, we have a motion
Motion's already
second.
there,
Right.
Ira. It's already there. Motion's already there, that's the purpose of the modification.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're gonna withdraw your motion to
I
amend?
withdraw the motion.
You're gonna withdraw your second, please?
Withdrawn.
Are we moving along?
Now you can move on to.
Okay, so, call the
Yes, for
question.
legal opinion.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Yes,
Or is it-
give you-
Thank you.
We've had a long day.
It seems that way.
It's only 2:45, feels like it's 9 o'clock at night.
The last resolution is to modify the contract with residuals management. I need a,
Moved by Cora, seconded by Jonathan.
thank you. Any discussion on this motion? This resolution?
We inadvertently omitted the Monticello transfer station.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
big.
boy.
That was a big one, yes.
Don't wanna do that.
If you hadn't caught this mistake, who would have caught it?
The vendor. When they went down and picked up.
Okay, all in favor?
Or is it?
So, I believe that we've concluded the business and it's time for public comment. Seeing the public has left the premises, I am asking for a closure. Motion to adjourn.
Seconded by
You know that.
Ira.
Thank you, everyone.
Cindy, you can't second.
I can.
You're not on this committee.
Thank you.